Hi, I'm Norm Kern, and I'd like to welcome you to Access MC, Access to Motorcycling. Each month we take you to motorcycle events, both amateur and professional. Once again, we're coming to you from the American Motorcyclist Association Heritage Museum in Westerville, Ohio. This unique museum was built to showcase and preserve America's motorcycling heritage.
We'd like to welcome you to the first annual Professional Hill Climbers Pro Motorcycle Hill Climb at Haydenville. This is in Hocking County, Ohio, just south of Lancaster. It's beautiful rolling countryside. The main industry at one time was coal mining, and most of the mines are shut down. So maybe this is going to be one of the larger economic benefits to this area, because it rained the night before, and it was raining during Sunday morning, but they still had a tremendous crowd, a good turnout of riders and an excellent turnout of spectators. You can see the crowd starting to pick their way around the mud puddles right here. Not too many people brought their boots. The mud was pretty heavy on the hill, and the riders were quite concerned about it. Some of them even brought tents down to put their motorcycles under to keep them dry, hoping the weather would change. We're here at the Hocking County Hill Climb, talking to past champion Earl Bowlby. Earl, you've been a competitor for many years. Now you're a promoter. What's going on here?
Well, I'm just a promoter's helper. The Professional Hill Climbers is promoting this hill climb today.
This is your first ever hill climb that you promoted, or just picking up something from years ago?
Back in the amateur days, we promoted amateur hill climbing in the Logan area.
But this is the first time on this hill?
This is the first time on this hill. This hill was full of trees 6 months ago and rocks, and the bulldozer operator took everything out for us.
Including the operator himself, or is he still alive?
He was worried a little bit a couple times there. Describe
the hill, because it's steep.
The hill is steep. It's not a real long hill. Up to the big breaker, it's about 170 feet. And on past the breaker, there's another 100 foot of just roll over hill. But the first 170 feet is going to be a very tricky, tough hill to ride.
The way I said, it looks like the first 10 feet is going to be the one where they make it or not.
No, I think that's the easy part.
Is there?
Yeah. I think the tough part's going to start up there about 90 to 120 feet. That's where it's really going to get tough.
What do you say the percentage of grade is on this?
The percent grade, I'm going to guess, is 80%. I'm not sure how accurate I am. We never measured it.
It looks like you're pretty close. That's what I'd guess it to be, somewhere between 75 to 80. It's short, but what kind of time you expect to see the fast time set on it?
I'm going to have to say between 5 and 6 seconds. I don't know how close that is, but...
You think they can do it that quick, huh?
Well, we'll see.
It's going to be 2 jumps and they're gone, right?
We got some fast riders out there, and somebody's going to go fast. Well, the crowd was fast in arriving. They're starting to roll in. You can see the mud is still there, but if you look closely, the sun is coming out. Climbers are getting their machines dried off. The crowd's starting to still hunt for a dry spot in the spectator area. But it's going to turn out to be a beautiful afternoon. There the riders are getting themselves ready, getting dressed, getting their machines all ready. Most of them spent the night. This is a closer look at some of the hot equipment that was going to be in competition down here that afternoon. As you can see, they're beautiful, well-engineered, well taken care of, and they're excellent pieces of equipment. This is one of the machines out of Ontario, Canada, that's brought down by the Williams family. If you look close, you can see the chains on the rear tire. This is a hill climber's rendition of mud and snow tires. They take an industrial chain and wrap it around the tire for good traction. Here we have past national champion Greg Williams checking over the hill. When you get away from him and look at it, you can tell how steep that hill is. Here's Columbus's own Tommy Reiser making a big bid for the national championship, checking out his Harley, getting it all ready to roll. There's another one of the Harleys that are going to be in competition. They're beautiful pieces of equipment. The guys take a lot of pride in what they're doing. They have the latest there is. Now, this is a BSA that's ridden by Tim Fraser out of Lancaster. He's a local boy here at Haydenville, and he's got his fans all scattered around. They're really giving him a lot of support. This is a machine here. This is a snowmobile Rotax. This is rode by Ted Wilkins out of Ontario, Canada. We're back in the Williams pit again. Here's Greg warming up his machine. Getting close to starting climb time there. The bikes are being parked in the get ready area. Crowd still coming in. There the riders milling around getting ready for their riders meeting so they can set the ground rules. It's 1 o'clock now and the first machine rolls against the log. Here we have Aaron Brown out of New Richmond, Indiana. He's riding a Honda. Crowd's got their cameras ready. They're ready to go. Brown checking out the hill. Well, I mean to tell you, it's a scary one. It takes a lot of horsepower. He's struggling. He kept it between the white lines and he kept it up. He turned a time of 10.791. Now this is Randy Dillon out of Goshen, Indiana on a Honda. Watch this. This shows you how much horsepower it takes to climb that hill. It's wet. Just couldn't generate it. He had to get off of it at 135 foot. Some of these old timers though, they can really get up the hill. And here's John Hislop out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, board of BSA. And you're going to be looking at the third place climb time of 7.904. Well, John done a terrific job because that hill was murder. This is Alan Hoskins out of Georgetown, Illinois, aboard a Honda. He's in trouble, and he's lays her down right about the 200-foot mark. There the hill crew is coming in. They'll have to put the rope on her. This is Leon Everett out of Vermontville, Michigan, aboard a Triumph. And this guy's been around since 1964, so that shows you even a weazened old veteran has these troubles on days like today. He has 2 sons that are climbing. I'm sure they won't let him live that down. Now here we have Bill Apicella out of Annapolis, Maryland, aboard a Kawasaki. Watching Bill does a great job. Gets up the hill in the 8-second bracket with an 8.926. This is Ted Wilkins. Look how far forward he's leaning. This is a guy that's really sharp. Because when he gets that angle, he's sitting straight up in the air. It's a Rotax snowmobile engine with a variable speed clutches. And at that time he thought he maybe picked a rock up and got in the belt because he lost a lot of power. He turned to 9.485. This is Dave Duncan out of Granger, Indiana, going up the hill. He's slogging his way right up the middle, but he's having his troubles. Took a 10.995. This is Ralph Krieger out of Red Lion, Pennsylvania, aboard a 4-stroke Triumph. Ran off the track at 145 foot, so he had to stop her right there. This is Bill Hislop out of Holton, Michigan, aboard a BSA. Bill's having a hard time keeping her running. Got up to the first road and she killed out on him. Official climb was 183 feet. Now here's your reigning national champion. This shows you how bad it really is. This is Tim Fraser out of Lancaster, Ohio, and Tim couldn't even get it done. Had to bail off at 150 foot. It's a rough day when your reigning national champion can only pull 150 foot. Conditions really were terrific that day. Muddy hills, steep. The crowd came for a good climb, and buddy, they got it. Here we have Dave Dresser out of Oakport, New York, aboard a Suzuki. Dave's a good one. He knows his way up and down these hills with the best of them. And he's having his troubles. 175 foot. Best he could do on his first attempt. Now this is Doug Klein out of Eaton Rapids, Michigan. Doug, another veteran. Knows his way up and down the hills. I'll tell you, this one takes everything he's got to offer. Whoops, look out.
He's checked. Okay, we're over here in the pits now with the Everetts. We got
Lee, Mike, and Scott.
And Scotty, you was a past national champion, right?
Past national champion.
This is another year.
Another year, yeah. I finished number 4 last year and had some bad luck last year and finished 4. I dropped down from number 3 to 4. I missed last week's hill climb in Allentown because I broke a gear in my transmission. It went through the bottom of the cases on Friday night. So missed last week's hill climb. So points for this year are pretty much history.
Well, you still got a lot of events to go. You've only this will be the 3rd climb this year, won't it?
Fourth climb. We had Middlebury, Indiana, York, Pennsylvania, Freemansburg 2 weekends ago, and now this one, round 4.
And so how many points have you got so far?
Let me think. Let's say about 12 or 15 right in there. Probably sitting 7th or 8th or so, I would think, right now.
Well, you're still on the hunt. Still got a long time to go. Whose machine am I standing in front of here?
This is mine.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's a 540cc Triumph, all chromed up as you can see. I probably have more money in cosmetics in this motorcycle than I do anything else. Been a real good bike. I've owned it for 6 years. A guy by the name of Bob Crowder from Milford, Michigan originally built this bike, and then Danny Halcomb from Rochester Hills has kind of taught me what's in it, how to fix it, how to do just about everything in it. And in fact, when the gear went through the transmission, we freshened this engine all up and got it ready to go for today. It's really running good.
Well, there's nothing sounds any prettier than a big old twin when she's on song, is there?
Yeah, when it's on nitro, that's right. There's nothing better than that.
They thought Beethoven could write music, but he didn't know anything about it, did he? Well, let's go back to Everett. Everett, how's things going with you?
I'm the senior of the bunch. These are my 2 boys. Scott's the oldest, and Mike just joined the team this year. This is his 1st year. We're all 3 of us ride Triumphs. That's because I started off in 1964 with a Triumph as an amateur, and we just stayed with them. We have a lot of tools and a lot of parts, and they are competitive, and so we've stayed with Triumphs. I've been hill climbing since 1964. Started as a professional in 1987. That's when Scott and I got together, and Mike just graduated from college this May, and so he's able to join us this year.
Well, Lee, it's got to be a lot of fun to do something like this with your kids, right?
I'm really proud of both of them, and it's a lot of fun. We camped right here at the hill last night and get to talk to the other riders, and you know, you get to see a lot of parts of the country that was telling Mike on the way down that I've never been in this part of Ohio, and I just love the hills.
Okay, here we have one of the hill climbers' most eligible bachelors. This is Scott Everett. For the Triumph. You're looking at the 4th place time. Scott blasted his way right up the hill. Turned that in 7.934. That was good for 4th place. Now we have Don Pinsonot out of Ware, Massachusetts. Don doing a good job, keeping it right on the middle. Digging all the way through. Turned to 7.815. This is Michael Pulver out of Indianapolis, Indiana on a Kawasaki, cranking out a 9.128. Those were all 540cc class machines. Now the 800 class is getting ready. First man to attack the hill is Steve Crowder out of Fowlersville, Michigan, aboard a Harley Davidson. Steve had a hard time. He kept it in under the 10 seconds with a 9.169. Out of Baltimore, Maryland, this is Harry Schreiber riding one of the Harley Davidsons out of Garrencer's Elkhart shop. Turned a 9.027. Now we have the old timer from Columbus, Indiana. This is Randy Gabriel. Randy having troubles, ran off the track at 265 feet just after he went over the top ledge there. Out of Markham, Ontario, Canada, this is John Williams, many time national champ from Canada and the United States. John turned at 8.962. Great time. Here we have David Overholzer out of Elkhart, Indiana. David's got problems. Struggling. Went over the breaker and took a hard shot, made a dead left-hand turn. Got a 218 feet for his efforts. Here we have the old-timer in the hill climbing group. This is Charlie Casey out of Hillsboro, Illinois, riding the Yamaha. Watch this old veteran attack a hill. Cranks that Yamaha up. Boy, he's got her climbing. Doing a great job. Not bad for a guy that's in his 60s. Charlie got an 8.150. Crowd really couldn't believe that one. This is Jeff Yoder out of Goshen, Indiana, riding a Harley Davidson. 750 cc's, that's the equivalent of 45 cubic inches, and they're putting out over 180 horsepower in pure nitro. Here comes Wade Williams riding with a 4-cylinder Honda. Wade's in the 6-second bracket with a 6.574. Here we have Gary Miller out of Elkview, West Virginia, riding a Harley Davidson. He's having a rough ride. Boy, I'll tell you, that little lip upper done a lot of people in. 214 feet. Out of Avon, Illinois, this is Tommy Chatterton. Tommy's a good one. Many time winners. Cranked off a 7.882. Now we have Rick Hunter out of Elkhart aboard another Harley Davidson. Rick's got troubles. Dropped the RPMs. He's tried to pick it up. Whoops. I bet that was a hard landing at 215 feet. Now we have a guy going after the national championship out of Columbus, Ohio. This is Tommy Reiser. Tommy's got her straight and digging all the way. Tommy cranked off a 7.787 with that climb. Good climb time for Tommy Reiser. That's Papa John checking out his son Greg's Honda. Here he comes out of Scarborough, Ontario. Greg Williams digging all the way up. Stopped the clocks at 7.417. Here's another veteran, Bobby Castledine out of Springfield, Massachusetts. Bob's doing a lot of bouncing. That dip done him in. He ran off at 240 feet. Next man to attack the hill, this is Harry Schreiber out of Baltimore, Maryland. Riding one of Gernson's Harleys. Not too good for Harry. He turned a 9.072. Going back into the 500 class, second time around. Again, it's Aaron Brown. Oops, he's out of shape. Off the track, he cranked her out at 208 feet. Watch Randy Dillon. You want to watch somebody having problems here. Watch that one. Yes, sir. Tried to hang that one on a sky hook. Randy Dillon. Gonna have to do some work on that one. Boys in the 500 class talking among themselves, trying to figure out a way to get up that hill. Next man to attack the hill will be John Hislop out of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. John's checking out the route he wants to take up there. Blast out of the hole. He's climbing well. Whoa! Boy, look at that. Tried to do a handstand. That's like riding a buck and bronc. That back wheel come up, just threw him over the front handlebars, man, and he done a nosedive right into the hill at 145 foot. Even the pro hill climbers are kind of kidding one another about that one. They're probably flipping coins to see who wants to be the next man on the hill. Due up, Alan Hoskins out of Georgetown, Illinois on a Honda. Alan says, let me at him. I'll show him how to get up that hill. Right up the middle, over the top. Good time with an 8.330 for Alan Hoskins. Next man up, Roger McNeely out of Ridgeview, West Virginia. Roger says, I can do it. And he does with a 9.700. Here we have another one of the old timers since 1964, Leon Everett out of Vermontville, Michigan. Leon's not going real quick, but he's keeping it straight and digging on through. Climbed it in 11.473. Now this is Bill Apicella out of Annapolis, Maryland. Having a rough ride, but he kept her up there. Turned to 10.175. Here we are with Ted Wilkins. Ted and his snowmobile machine. Does a great job of keeping it straight. He keeps that weight on that front wheel, and he's got himself an 8.128. Crowd really enjoying themselves. First annual hill climb down here. David Duncan out of Granger, Indiana, attacking the hill. Not enough horsepower, David. 10.982. Next man up, out of Holton, Michigan. This is Bill Hislop. Bill's digging, but it's petering out on him. Oops. Turned around and went the wrong way. You see the tree shaking up there? Knocked her down at 149 feet. Here comes Timmy Fraser. Now you're looking at the winning climb. Boy, he's coming. Got her up straight, but he kept it down. And he's got a 7.003. That's your winning time. Here we have Paul Pinsonat out of Ludlow, Massachusetts, aboard a Yamaha. He says, I can do that. And he takes second place with a 7.015. Now we have Steve Dresser. This is Suzuki out of Arkport, New York. Steve says, I can do it. He's got himself an 8.418. They're getting the hill figured out now. Doug Klump. He's another one of the guys that dropped it on the first time up. Doug's got it figured out. Going right up the middle, looking good. At an 8.384. Here's Scott Everett again. He had a fourth place time going into here. He's getting ready, psyching himself up. Drops the clutch. Whoops, something broke. Something broke. That sounded expensive. You see him pull the dead man switch to kill that engine right away, but the damage was done. Here we have Joe Pinsonat, also out of Ware, Massachusetts. Joe climbing on up her, but he's running out of horsepower. Whoops, and she died on him. Joe Pinsonat at 170 foot. We have another Pinsonat. This is Don, also out of Ware, Massachusetts. Don's blasting right up the hill. Got some good revolutions going. Good. He has an 8.526. This is Michael Pulver out of Indianapolis climbing. And there's your aerial donut. That's the classic donut that you'll see at hill climbs. Back wheel just runs on up the hill underneath the front one. Into the 800 class. This is Bobby Castledine out of Springfield, Massachusetts, riding a Harley blasting up the hill. He has a 7.583. Next man on the hill is Greg Williams. Greg's moving that four-cylinder Honda, riding it hard. And he's in the 6-second bracket with a 6.139. Here's Tommy Chatterton again. Tom says, that Honda can do it, so can my Harley, but we got problems. He's out of bounds. 275-foot mark. Here's the old man of the mountain, Louis Geringer, 3-time Grand National champion. Got a good shot out of the hole, but boy, he ran into trouble right there. Got it credited with 146 feet. The official results for the 800 class was Greg Williams with a 6.139, Wade Williams with a 6.574, and Tommy Reiser with a 7.787. In the 500 class, Tim Fraser had a 7.003, Paul Pinsonot with a 7.015, and John Hislop with a 7.904.
Well, that's all we have time for this month. Remember, there will be a new show again next month. In the meantime, I invite you to join the over 7 million people who enjoy the world of motorcycling. See you next time.